pause the video right quick, guys. What we didn't talk about in the intro is the ingredients. You're going to need 1.5 pounds of ground turkey or ground pork or ground beef. That's your choice. You're going to need minced garlic, whether you want to buy a clove and mince it yourself or be like me and be lazy and buy it already minced. It's up to you. You're going to need some EVOO. That is extra virgin olive oil, okay? And you're going to need basil. Get a fresh basil leaf. You're going to need 10 to 15 vine tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, and I got an Italian blend also. Now, it's up to you if you want to use ricotta cheese also. I don't like ricotta cheese, so I'm not using ricotta, okay? That's your decision. Sorry in advance for the win. Let's get back into the video. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the dry oregano. You can get it at the spice section of any of your supermarkets. And also, how could I forget about the lasagna shells? Me personally, I get the ones that you put in the oven and you bake along with the lasagna. I don't like the ones you have to boil, but that's your opinion, what you want to do. If you like the ones you have to boil, go for it. Now, let's start the video. What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Tony for Tony Reviews, and I go hard for this. You already know where I'm at, man. No, you don't. I'm outside right now, man. And you can tell by the title what we doing. Now, I'm about to start cranking out these videos more often. Sorry for the wind, you guys. I mean, it's probably all in your face piece. I mean, it's probably crazy right now, okay? But, like I said, we're going to start cranking out these videos crazy. More food reviews, of course. But ain't nothing been popping lately. Nothing been popping, so, you know, we got, all the food reviews and all the restaurants that are putting out garbage lately. Nothing good came out to reviews, so that's why I haven't been doing no reviews. Vlogging, I don't know, man. I might make a separate vlogging channel. I don't know if I'm gonna vlog on this channel anymore. I'm gonna show y'all the finished repaired Passat, my wife's car. And let's get straight into this cooking though, man. If you're new to this channel, please slap the subscribe button, slap the like button. On the road to a million, okay? Let's get it.
And here we go.
Panda, panda, panda. I got broads in Atlanta, just to lean the family. Credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van. Legacies, family, wait and see, look like a panda.
Now, first thing first, we have to cook our meat. Whether you got ground turkey, whether you got ground beef, or whether you got ground pork, you have to cook it. We're going to cook it all the way through. I season mine with just a little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon pepper, some onion powder, and that's all. That's all I season mine with. You can do the same, or you can season it the way you want to season it. That's your preference. Just cook it all the way through until it's brown. Either one of them. Now, after we get that finished, we're gonna wash and get our tomatoes prepped and ready. Now, these are vine tomatoes. If you don't know what a vine tomato is, it's a tomato that's still on the vine, hence the name vine tomatoes. And I like to do those better than a steak tomato because they're more better for making sauce than a steak tomato. Steak tomatoes are for like hamburgers and stuff. This is made for sauces. So I like to use this right here, the vine tomato. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the top off of them, wash them first, cut the top off of them, prep them, and get them ready for the next step, okay? That's all you have to do. Wash them, cut the top off of them. That's it. Get you a clean pot, put you some EVOO in there, and let it come to a, I would say a simmer, like when you able to drop something in it and it fries it, let it come to a simmer and get ready. Once it starts to shake a little bit, it's shaking, then you can add your garlic to it, as I'm about to show you in the next clip. Now go ahead and add your garlic to it. I say cook this not for too long because you don't want your garlic to burn, but you do want them to get to know each other. You want the garlic and your EVOO to get to know each other. You don't want to just cook it for like 30 seconds. I say cook it for about a minute, but constantly stir it so that your garlic don't burn, and don't have your eye up too high. I'm on like medium heat right now, okay? So don't overdo it. Don't burn your garlic, because burnt garlic tastes disgusting. You wanna make the beef a resistance and not something nasty, okay? Get your garlic ready. Now we're about to start crushing these tomatoes into it. Now the EVOO and the garlic has became a marriage. Now we're gonna crush the tomatoes into it. It's just simple, you guys. This is so simple. Just taking your hand and crushing tomatoes. I wish my wife was here to help me with this, but she wasn't. So it's so hard to maneuver a camera and crush the tomatoes at the same time. But you see what I'm doing? All I'm doing is taking a tomato and crushing it by hand. Just crushing it into chunks, along with the juices. If the chunks are too big, you see me break the chunks up a little bit. If they're too big, that's all you have to do. Crush the tomato with your hand. I did about 10 to 15 tomatoes to make my sauce. I recommend no less than 10 if you're making this size portion of a lasagna. See how I'm crushing the tomato up? That's all you have to do. Once you get about 10 tomatoes, it's gonna start looking like this. You're gonna let that simmer for about 5 minutes before you add anything else to it. Before you add your bay leaf, and before you add, not bay leaf, your basil leaf, and before you add your organic tomato sauce. That's basil leaf, okay? Basil leaf, not bay, basil leaf. Once that's been cooking for about 5 minutes by itself, then you add your tomato sauce, and then you add your basil leaf, okay? I put all my basil leaf in there because I like to taste it. I like to taste the basil. I like to taste the tomato. And tomato and basil go together so amazingly, okay? So I like to taste both of them together, okay? So I add all my basil leaf. Now, you add your tomato sauce and you add your basil leaf. And that's how it looks. Looks more like a sauce now, huh? Looks more like a sauce, looks more together. Now we're gonna let that cook for another 7 to 10 minutes, just like that, because you want the basil leaf and the tomato to get to know each other. Once it comes to a good simmer like this right here, and you see that the basil is wilted, now you can go ahead and start to get ready to add your meat. Add your meat that you cooked earlier back to this. Now this right here, this tomato sauce you can use for pasta. Tomato and basil Alfredo. You can use it for that. But that's for another video. Get ready to add your meat back to this. Once you add your meat back, you're ready to layer. Now, there's no right way to layer lasagna. There's no right way. But we all know we have to put some of the sauce at the bottom of the pan. Okay? Now, what you do is sauce down first. Then you put a layer of shells, layer of meat and sauce, cheese, shells, meat and sauce, cheese, shells, meat and sauce, cheese. You always end with cheese. Do I have to say it again, you guys? Slow for y'all. Sauce first, so the shells don't stick. Then lay some shells, some more sauce, then cheese. Shells, sauce, then cheese. Shells, sauce, then cheese. I don't want you guys to screw that up. It should be easy, okay? It should be easy, all right? You should not be able to screw that up. This is what you come out with. And we should already know this. You should have your oven preheating already. Come on, some things are common sense. You should have the oven preheating on 375. Yeah, 375. That's the golden number. Preheat it 30 minutes in advance. While you're doing everything else, have your oven already on. Get it ready. That little bit of sauce right there, we're gonna make Alfredo out of that. Some tomato and basil Alfredo. Don't worry about that. We're gonna use that at a later date. Put that in the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour. Cover it with aluminum foil. Make sure your aluminum foil is not sticking to the cheese though. Make sure it have a little room so the aluminum foil don't stick to the cheese. And then you come out with something like this. Voila. That is the finished product. I would cut a piece and tell you how it tastes. Like I said, I'm doing this by myself. One-handedly. And let me tell you, it came out amazing. Like I told you, that tomato and basil sauce that I make, it's my own recipe. And you can use that for tomato and basil Alfredo. If you wanted to. It's an easy step to make lasagna. You make everything yourself. Everything is homemade. We're not going to get ragu or prego. We're going to work our butts off and get something that actually tastes amazing. This right here is amazing. Trust me. I'm done. I'm done. Just look at it. I'm done.